I started in a way as a painter, which is kind of interesting, and then the big move or the big shift towards sculpture happened in a way through a stay in Los Angeles. The architecture, the entire city was just so overwhelming and new to me that I started first in forms of drawings to engage somehow with architectural structures. It was in 2009 that I started to photograph 3 buildings in Los Angeles from the architect Rudolph Schindler. When I arrived at the How House, it was empty at that time. Nobody was living there. I was, in a way, an architect stalker. So I went there again and again, and I was shooting the house again and again, first of all from the outside. Then I was trying to get into the house, which was kind of difficult. On all that kind of excitement for that house, for the structure of that house, I started to work with that shape. And my work references still, or has that kind of dialogue with architecture. I think it's kind of interesting to think if this is a sculpture, for instance, and you can only walk around, but what happens if you make it possible for the spectator to move into it and to have that other experience? How does, let's say, the artwork in itself change? And how does the meaning of, let's say, the idea of sculpture change? For instance, here, if you face that sculpture, let's imagine it's a cube about 1.40 meters by 1.40 meters. So you face that sculpture and you can walk around, you can have different views looking at that sculpture, but you can move into the sculpture. So these kind of changes of the perspective is something which interests me as well. Here, in my studio in Berlin, there was really a little bit of wind coming in, and it was just naturally that the cube were moving and almost like dancing. And I just love that movement. And the entire, let's say, static structure gets broken off, which in a, let's say, sculptural idea, I just think that's something, which was a very, very positive surprise. I could have thought about that because it's so logical. If you hang the frames singly, that for sure it moves, but how it moved, I didn't expect that, and I didn't know that, and I really like that a lot.